a very interesting question. This one by Anonymous. And the question is, or how do I navigate conflict in a way that strengthens our relationship? Very interesting question. Well, there's a book that I was reading and it was basically saying if there's no conflict in your relationship, then something is wrong, right? I remember I was in a relationship and it was in my early 20s. For 1 year, we had literally no argument or disagreement. We had literally, we never cussed, we never fight, we never, nothing. We were holy Christian. We avoided any sort of conflict, you understand, that could arise, anything that could sound like it could become a disagreement. We shut it down quick and fast, and at least I did. And it wasn't until after the first that 1 year, the anniversary, that we started to have our disagreement. Of course, by then it was too late because she had already found an ex-man and she moved on and yada yada yada. I remember another similar relationship that I was in, and she was somewhat similar, but she was much more confronting about it after, I think it was about a year or two, that, you know, we just never argued, and we never, of course, we never raised a fight, it was almost like it was just too peaceful for a relationship, right? And what I'm getting at is that can be very unhealthy, right? If it's too peaceful, right? Now, hear me out before y'all stone me up in here. I remember when we were doing premarital counseling, I remember he was asking, you know, what we expect and what we're looking forward to in the marriage. And one of the things I said was, I'm actually looking for a first disagreement. And of course, I'm pretty sure he's never heard any guy say something like that. You know, in all these years of counseling, you know, no guy in his right mind say, oh, I'm looking forward for my first disagreement. Like, you know, this guy thinking, you know. So for us, I knew what I was talking about. And of course, I explained to him, right? And was I saying, oh, I don't want peace, I want problems, I want problems forever? No, I wasn't saying that. I would never say that. Nah, you understand? But from a biblical perspective, Proverbs says the foolish are always fighting, but avoiding quarreling will bring you honor, right? And Proverbs 20 verse 3 says, it is an honor for a man to keep away from strife by handling situations with thoughtful foresight. But any fool will start a quarrel without regard for the consequences. Right? And that's an amplified version. Yeah, avoiding a fight is honorable. Yeah, only a foolish person wants to argue. And that's not what I was saying in terms of when I said I wanted to be in a disagreement with my wife. No, because I really wanted for us to hit the road running, because for me, I saw it as, yo, if we can get past, you know, disagreements and show how we mature with our approach, or work on our approach, and because the first year of marriage tends to be one of the roughest years. Some people say the first 5 years, some say the first 10 years. You know, me just a start out, somebody say, yo, the first year. Yeah, if it's a marriage where you're being real into the relationship, you know, or, you know, this honeymoon thing, now past the honeymoon period, and you're now, yo, are we this, you know, where you depend, where you depend, where we depend, you understand? And we just take off the mask and we just move forward, yo, this way for the rest of life, you know, so, you understand? And truth be told, disagreements are unavoidable in relationships, regardless of friendships, any relationships, I would say, that you're in and there's no disagreement, right? As a man, you're being too agreeable. You have to know to disagree with people. I notice me never say you have to know how to argue and cuss out people. No, that's just being ignorant and dumb. You don't need to go down the road there, right? Disagree, use your head to think. As the Bible says, yo, it is an honor for a man to keep away from strife by handling situations with thoughtful foresight. In other words, know how to navigate a disagreement. We have to learn to distinguish the difference between arguing and disagreeing with someone. Arguing is a choice. Yeah, being disrespectful is a choice. Yeah, so regardless of what is said and done, these are always your response to the situation. You choose to act this way. You choose to give them your power, to give, be ignorant. These are all choices. So yeah, we'll have disagreements, but how we approach our disagreements speaks to our maturity.